Yes, wow. The camera's not great on this one. There we go. So yeah, I turned those off for other streams and forgot to turn them back on. So that's why you couldn't give pluses right there. Sorry. But overall, what do we think? How are we doing?
Doing reasonably well.
I feel like the second fight is definitely got more drama going on.
I knew it would.
I mean, let's be fair. Echo did get pretty well hurt.
I feel like I could have had my camera off for 2.5 hours.
M gave the amazingly good idea to have the Shambling Mound fight first. I had originally had that one last. So, like, I think that made for a good build-up to the Garrick and Thorn fight, and I thought that was great.
M actually writes indie wrestling matches, so
yeah, I'm hoping we'll see a steel chair at some point in the next session.
It's possible. We'll work on that.
Yeah, going from the scary but not very clever enemy now to the strategizing enemy is definitely a step up.
Yeah, and I really like M what you did with Thorn with the kicking up dust and the kind of like thematically moving things aside. It works really well for the kind of characters that I was going for, so I appreciate that. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about, because we've got like 10 minutes at the least. What do we want to see going forward? Like what do you want to happen in the next session other than finishing up Waterdeep and leaving? Like, what do you want to see? Anybody can answer this one.
I had mentioned before that I wanted to have some sort of little side thing after Waterdeep, but I don't know what it would be. Because I know our plan is to try and go back to Hyacinth's place and Laura's place, but I feel like we either have like people coming after us from Waterdeep for some reason, or I don't know. I just I'm not looking for a boring trip back.
Once you are in the clutches of the City of Splendors, you aren't going to be able to leave easily. So yes, there are possibilities, and depending on how this goes, you may end up owing favors or being owed favors. And either way, you know, even though you will leave Waterdeep, there will always be kind of a thread back there, which is going to work because it means you've got allies and enemies, but also allies. Let's go around. First off,
go
ahead.
Why don't you tell us what you expected that what did you expect? And then what was the thing that you didn't expect?
Like from this particular session?
Yeah.
I did not expect the Shambling Mound fight to take so long. I actually thought that Calder would roast it.
Why?
because I know in the past you've been pretty trigger happy with high level spells. And I didn't know if you would do it for showmanship's sake or not.
Like this is a marathon, not a race, and I'm only getting short rests, so no.
Yeah,
I have to be sparing with them.
So that surprised me a bit. I expected a fireball or an acid ball or a something ball in that. And
I'm definitely saving one for the end fight, but it's not one I wanted to drop into right away.
Without getting into spoilers, the end fight's going to be a lot of fun. So the thing that I really enjoyed is how you all took a legitimate choice. Like, this was really a thing that I was going to do mechanically. If you had said, yeah, go ahead and put us over, the match would have been not combat, but solely performance checks from you and them and descriptions as to how you were wowing the crowd. And it would have been a really neat sort of alternative to a fight. kind of like we did with the dragon at the end of the Forge of Fury. But you all chose to throw chops, and I respect that, and it's going really well so far. So I like that. I think either way would have been great, but I really like that we're going to the mat with this.
Yeah, I saw that option before us, and I was like, I don't know if I trust these people's performance checks.
That's what I was thinking. Like, it's like, that's a sincerely tempting offer. I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose
especially with the fact that Echo was able to read that they're worried, and so like if they not only had lost but had been caught losing on purpose, Echo didn't want to put them in that situation of maybe getting zapped.
But now you put yourself in a position where you have to beat them.
Yeah.
Echo believes in this too.
That's fine.
Might still get zapped, but maybe not. Yeah, I like it.
Sincere fun. At least it's earned.
Yeah, it's I'm this Goliath man.
Oh, like
He's hard.
yeah.
I don't like his AC. I don't like it.
No, I wouldn't either. That's
So
why I'm
what-
using spells that make him make an intelligence save.
So what about the rest of you? What was the surprising thing? Like, because you knew you were going into an iron gauntlet, basically. So what were you expecting out of that, and what happened that you weren't expecting? And don't just say Stinky dying, because yeah. Besides
honestly,
Stinky dying,
it was the callback to the Twig Boys. It's like, oh, these things again. Just I hate these things. I hate them so much. And yeah, that was a fun little thing to call back for, and like Calder trying his best to like just go ew ew ew. No, don't like him.
I wasn't expecting Echo to get his shit rocked in the first match. That crit was
immediately bodied.
Just crit, the worst opportune crit, and just 2 hits. 2 hits was all it took to down Echo.
Oh no, it missed the first one and then just crit for fucking 38 damage. It's the only time it hit Echo.
At least it was a
33,
crit that didn't immediately drop you completely dead.
Oh, F in chat for Clarion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Again.
because you were hit for 33. Clarion was hit for what, like 37, and he had no death saves whatsoever. It was just completely through him.
Because
I mean, they're a little. They was level.
Was hit for 33 2 levels ago.
He was already and he was already low health because he had already been hit once. Yeah, it wasn't good for Clarion.
Gone.
Oh, rest in peace, even though we know that you aren't.
Like, I was expecting to get knocked around a bit, but not have his chest caved in on the first solid hit.
he's literally concave.
Yeah.
Jen, what about you?
Oh, I'm kind of surprised about the I'm kind of surprised about just the whole way that it's kind of being done. It is very much more gladiator, which makes me happy. I grow concerneth for stuff to see what's gonna happen. I've been enjoying I'll be honest, just watching this fight without having to be part of it. I mean, I'm part of Stinky's part of it. But like, I feel like had Kreitha been in this fight, like that, like just ones for some reason. Like, I just feel like just her luck would have turned bad.
There was some pretty bad luck already in this combat.
All the goblins have shit luck today.
So
I'm high and low, both.
And I feel like
Echo hits have either been crits or nothing. So
I feel like the next session's going to begin with what Kreitha's up to during this bout, because
Oh, yeah.
like
I
we're
think that's
gonna
a good idea.
like M had mentioned before, we're gonna kind of like distort time on this. A round isn't like 6 seconds. This combat will have already been going on for several minutes. So Kretha will give you a little bit of time to creep around and decide what you're gonna do and that sort of thing while this is happening, because this isn't war, right? This isn't people like
No.
trying to kill each other. This is people playing it up for the crowd. Most of us have seen WWF, WWE, and
They take a little bit longer than
yeah,
MMA
it's a little bit more
matches, yes.
leisurely. So everything that happened. It just happens on a longer timeline.
Yeah, WWE or wrestling matches tend to last somewhere between 3 to 5 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes if you need to pad for time.
Yes.
Or if it's like a main
So-
event at a pay-per-view. Yeah.
Although I have to put it this way, Kretha isn't creeping around. Kretha's creeping around.
So what I want
was
you to
such a
decide,
bad joke,
Jen,
I'm
between
sorry.
now and next game, I want you to decide, is Kretha going to remain in the arena, or is she going to abscond and do something else? If
That's
you
what
went,
I have to decide. She's creeping around somewhere, but I have to decide whether it's going to be up towards Xanathar's thing or out into the rest of the area.
Indeed. So just something to think about for next time.
You got
Yes.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 whole weeks to stress about this.
And I have spring break next week, so I will have plenty of time to prepare, although I will at least be back to work on the Tuesday that we play. But that's okay. I won't have done like dozens of parent-teacher conferences in the span of a couple hours.
I made an uncomfortable realization. I will not be here next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday?
Next or next?
The next game, like the 22nd, I can't be there.
Okay. We'll work it out between games.
We'll work it out, I'm sure, but like that's I'll get into it after the game.
All good. Let's go ahead and go around and talk about the things that we enjoyed and talk about the things that we want to shout out a player character for. And let's go ahead and start with Jen. What's something you had particular fun with today? What's some player character that you want to give a shout out to?
Fun and shout out is relatively the same thing. It's pretty much Olivia and Jeff hamming it up WWE. Like, I honestly, it makes me want to get in on like M's WWE game, and like I've been a little bit out of the wrestling game since I stopped dating that one dude back in 2004.
The WWE games that I'm running are actually for indie wrestlers playing indie wrestlers.
I love it.
I love
absolutely
with
love it.
indie wrestlers. I
You're
love
actually
the
looking
wrestlers.
for wrestlers to play wrestlers, which is
I'm
absolutely
actually
hilarious.
talking to the indie wrestlers that they
And
work
I
with.
love it. And yeah, that's a great idea.
It's
That's fantastic.
But yeah, I have enjoyed that a lot. I definitely like, I mean, we're definitely fighting, but I like that we're having to have performance during the fighting. Like, that takes this, it makes the flavor of these fights so much different than the kind of slogging we were doing in the Forge of Fury or like the Sunless Citadel. Like, this is really more interesting in some respects because the stakes are different.
And the failures are often as interesting or more interesting than the successes. And I like that all of you are kind of leaning into the idea of things going wrong in a great, like, entertaining way.
Yeah.
Let's go with Jeff next. What's something you had fun with? What's a player character you want to shout out?
Using the draconic word for idiot to heal Echo was particularly satisfying. But yeah, that was just a lot of fun. That entire first fight was a blast, but that was the moment that stood out for me.
I was worried about throwing 5 twig blights at you, or needle blights at you, because again, I assumed that Calder would go AoE immediately. The reason that there were 5 is because I thought Calder would be like, oh, fuck this noise, acid ball. So
I would only ever do that if they were clustered. They weren't clustered.
It worked. It worked out really well. But yeah, like I said, I expected that to be a shorter fight.
I
I
definitely.
mean, AoE only ever works when the opponent is close together and over there. So
What was that, Em?
Oh, no, it's a thing I can talk about later.
Okay. Jeff, you gave your shout out?
yeah,
Awesome.
That was a lot of fun.
Em, I know you weren't playing for most of this.
Oh, I abstain.
Fair enough. Gail, who is maybe cosplaying as a watermelon? I like your outfit, but from here it looks like watermelon seeds on you. What's the pattern?
It's orange flowers on a black background.
Got it. Got
It's
it.
like
Got it.
pumpkin at best, watermelon.
I'm seeing things more red than they really are. But anyway, what's something you enjoyed, and what's a player character you want to shout out?
I don't know if y'all could tell, but I had a lot of fun with all the fights and getting to perform with it and do the character and drop the accent and
And
like
change the accent to Italian.
right. Gosh, I was struggling with that so much, but just this was so fun because Echo, I made a little comic about it way back in the first campaign of someone being like, "Oh, you're a fighter by trade," and Echo's like, "No, I'm a performer," and so getting to do that and be and then the shout out, it's I know you're not quite piloting him the same as like piloting Kretha, but the like both of Stinky's pilots, Jen and Rob, of being able to just I like how Echo went through all the thing to be like, how can I command him, and then completely forgets to give him any cues and commands.
Forget.
Like Stinky would do this, Stinky would would go in, would bite this dude, would regret biting this dude, and it's just seeing what Stinky is doing in the attack.
I do like that we have that like Stingy's entire modus operandi has been no thoughts, only vibes.
Oh, no thoughts, only nom.
Mhm.
Nom is
That
all.
is pretty much a frog modus operandi. No thought, only bug. So that's pretty true to form.
The stinky emoji is just Hypnotoad from
Futurama, yes.
Yeah.
I love it. I had fun this whole time, but of course I am so deliriously exhausted that I will not remember this conversation we're having right now tomorrow. That said, I loved leaning into the theater of it. I know we kind of planned to wrap up the tournament this session, but I feel like the descriptions are worthwhile, and I feel like I really enjoy the way this is going. I like the sort of dynamic between your team and Garrick and Thorn, and how you're both kind of sort of worried about being disintegrated, and I like that you made an honest fight of it. Calder, you showed remarkable restraint despite the fact that you burned a bunch of meta magic in the first one. Like I said, I expected 3rd level spell slots, so I gotta give you props for saving those.
I've only burned through the extra tank. I still have plenty left in reserve.
Jen, I gotta shout Kretha out, and again, Stinky was, maybe not quite MVP material this time around, but he acted very Stinky-like.
Yes, he did. He did.
And I'm really excited to find out what Kretha is going to be doing during this match.
It's going to be fun. I did think that like saving my actions until the second round was going to be the smartest idea, because I needed to see how well the crowd was going to be held before I disappear.
Gail, never have I seen, and I've been DMing for decades. I have never seen such a potent combination of amazing showmanship and just god awful luck. Like
I've played that character though,
and you missed, and you missed, and you missed, and you really ran into it, and you really leaned into it.
The one thing he's consistently rolling well on is performance, so at least he's selling it.
So he's making it look good, and at this point, like, any wrestling match has a back and forth, right? Unless it's somebody who, like, a nobody going up against a megastar, you never really see, like, one move and it's over. So, like, I'm loving this back and forth I'm seeing. And again, just keep giving me the ridiculously over-the-top dramatic fight descriptions. I love it. We still have 1.5 rounds left to go in this tournament. And with that, I think...
so
Go
wait,
ahead, Em.
I have some shit to say.
Please do.
So in relation to like the absolute trash rolls, but I'm a performer, don't worry about it stuff. So I'm tangenting and stuff because that's what you do during
Please do.
talkback shows. Is I had a Starfinder character that was a gladiator, like specifically that was their background, and like a fighter type could not fucking hit shit if there wasn't a crowd. Like if there was no crowd, couldn't hit a goddamn thing.
Oh no.
Not one time did I manage to get a hit off.
I love it.
One of the other party members constantly kill stealed for me, like with a long range sniper rifle type thing.
Of course.
And I would like miss by like not that much. And I would be like, can I make a performance check just to make it look good at this point? Because it's gonna miss, and that's fine. But like the one time we ended up in an arena doing a fight, I hit and I crit like almost every other hit.
Oh,
And it was ridiculous.
That's the best.
And I'm like, that's the vibes I was getting out of this fight with Echo, was just like I'm performing, so like I'm gonna pretend that my misses are on purpose, because like what else are you gonna do at that point?
I didn't hear no bell.
Yes.
Excellent. Any other comments before we go to plugs?
Another unexpected thing. Apparently seducing the Xanathar isn't as off the table as I thought it was.
How about this? Rob, if
They reproduce by dreaming.
yeah, that means nothing.
Reproduction isn't the only reason to,
I know.
It's a giant eyeballs with a mouth. It can do things.
and those eyes are on stalks, which is tense.
Right?
It can do things.
Why are you doing this to me? You know that I've been working for 16 hours at this point. Why are you doing this to me?
Making big map jokes.
Yeah, big map jokes. Yeah, you need to go to bed thinking of beholder porn.
Nathaniel, I see your toss of coins. I will absolutely give that gold to the player characters in between games. In fact, we've had, I think,
7 of them now.
7 total, yes.
I would like to know if you knew that the Shambling Mound fight was going to go longer than you expected. Would you have done less less needle blights?
I don't know. So the reason that the Shambling Mound took as long as it did is because it had a lot of HP. So if I would have done it, and I did this actually kind of in mid-combat, sneakily, I kind of lowered its HP during combat because I felt like A, it was kind of a foregone conclusion, and B, I didn't want it to last too long. So that's kind of the behind the curtains. You still killed the shit out of it, but I lowered its HP from like 136 to like 100, and you dealt all that 100 damage. So that is the adjustment that I made on the fly. If I had known it would take this long, I probably would have lowered that even more. The number of twig blights I don't regret, because again, I assumed AoE damage was incoming. But I would have lowered the bosses, the mini bosses HP a little bit more.
Yeah, that's fair.
I am sad that it didn't hit Echo with both of its attacks on the first one. I had this whole like semi-written description that would have it would have recalled Barnabas when he was covered in vines.
Oh no.
It would have been amazing. It would have been gut-wrenching, and it didn't happen that way, and that's okay. But it would have been nice.
Where is Barnabas right now?
He's back at the yawning portal.
Not here. Because
not showing his face in front of another crowd is what he's doing.
Yeah, too much heat. he wouldn't have been able to come in here and people have been like, oh yeah, he's just another fighter. They'd be like, what is that Dwarven King doing here?
Plus,
Who
I
let
feel
Yeah, but
like
he could have gotten
Barnabas would not have
tickets.
been able to hold himself back seeing anybody he cares about getting hurt. And certainly not seeing Echo have like an entire chest bashed in.
I
Yeah.
absolutely want to know what Barnabas's like ideals, bonds, flaws, and trait and
Oh,
personality traits are. Like, I need to know that now.
now I need to know that. Yes.
Give
But
us the personality reveal, Rob.
Personality
Give us the
reveal at, let's say, 300 followers.
How about just
Well,
next
yeah.
game? How about just next
Or
game?
maybe just next game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. Next game I can deal with, but like
I
that,
need to do a
I
source
do not know.
so that Echo can see whether or not they're like, star chart compatible and like
I have that book. If we want to do D&D star charts, I can do that.
Dude,
Talk to me.
Okay.
I
dude,
have
you
that
need
shit.
to.
I
It's
back that
actually really
Kickstarter.
fun. It's
It is
actually
dope as
so
hell.
fun. It's dope.
All right.
It's dope.
I am crashing.
Okay.
We are going to do a raid pretty quick. So stick around if
gonna
you're here. We're
leave,
going to give
please.
plugs. So please stick around for the plugs. These folks absolutely deserve your follow. And let's start with M. Where can people find you and follow you?
I am one silver key on Twitch and everywhere. I do gaming. Tomorrow is my last game before vacation. It's at 7 Eastern time. I'm playing Skyrim on the hardest difficulty I can find.
Yes. But you
I
should
know,
really
it's
follow it.
great.
That legendary run through is really worth watching.
It's ridiculous. I die so much. I cry about being a werewolf and how bad it is.
Werewolves are not
I'm not
optimized
joking. I
in
can cry about
Skyrim.
it.
Gail, you've got a Tumblr. Tell us about it.
I do. It's a measure of separation, but it's slightly misspelled. I'll put it in chat. At Tumblr, and it's a blog about Echo and Barnabas mostly, but also includes stuff about the rest of the team, comics, art, and some fic that may or may not be canon. So
And or incredibly porny.
I mean, it's
Separation
technically
is
can't post at not safe for work shit there, but
yeah, because it's Tumblr, which is why Tumblr is not quite
That
the force
does
that it
not
used to be.
stop anyone.
And
They never got rid of the bots, Rob. It's fine.
and separation is SEPER. That's the
much
thing,
porn
right?
on my
Okay.
husband's Tumblr. So
Yeah.
much.
I'm
I'm watching him scroll through and I'm like, how is this even legal after like the Tumblr issues? And he's like, I don't know, but it's still there.
It's because the whole thing was exclusively anti-sex work, and it sucks. Jeff, on that incredibly uplifting note, where can
So
people find you,
uplifting.
follow you?
Well, on theme, I am found still tired and angry on TikTok and Instagram. So, which is
Spelled
appropriate
just
as
like
my
it
response.
sounds.
At
Perfect.
Still tired and angry. So yeah, I post art and time lapses and art bits that I do because I'm bored and like I draw. stuff I
And
do.
tired and angry.
Mhm.
Jen, talk to us about where people can find you, follow you, and experience your gaming and your art.
Yep. My Twitch is the Swedish Geek Ball. That is also I'm at T Geek Ball on Twitter and the Swedish Geek Ball on Instagram. And you can check out my Etsy store, which is the Winter Rose Art Shop.
Oh, plug your Patreon.
Oh yes, I do have a Patreon. It's for doing art and gaming and stuff, and I have several tiers of benefits, including such interesting things like art straight to your door with the Postcard Art Club, where you get a new postcard each month that is a brand new, specifically painted for that postcard piece of art.
That's really
There's also
cool.
a digital version of that. There is also the highest tier is trading cards, art trading cards. If any of you are into the art trading card scene, you get 5 trading cards 4 times a year.
Also, if I remember correctly, you also do fan art for this game for that.
I do. I do. In fact, the postcards that went out this particular month are Kretha at the Festival of Lanterns in
Oh, I love
Waterdeep.
it. I love it.
And
So just in case if you wanted to get small, like for real art from this, like
Yeah.
I'm just saying you should do it.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep. They're little 5x7s.
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Math Demigod. You can find me on Patreon at Math Demigod as well, since we're talking about it. And
Yeah.
you can find the VODs of this particular stream over at youtube.com/gaming mathematically. In fact, I have a playlist that is specifically the Bad Adventures Club, the Bad Decisions Club. God, I'm tired. The Adventures of the Bad Decisions Club is what it's called. Check it out. There's like 50 hours of content there from the beginning of the Sunless Citadel up until now, and more happening every couple of days. So please check that out. We're going to raid a friend of mine who's currently playing looks like Rocket League. I know that's not our normal thing, but I think he deserves the follows. Check him out. His name is Chaotic Beats. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. See you maybe 2 weeks from today. We'll do an announcement depending on where people are at.
I did just have an incredible idea for a t-shirt.
What's that?
We
incredible
will try
idea
to
for a
do an
t-shirt.
announcement on the Math Demigod Twitter account.
Yeah, we'll do
And
that.
we will also try to include video announcements in at least mine and Rob's streams, possibly if I can get Jen to do it for hers as well. On any updated schedules.
Yes.
All right, thank you for watching. We will see you next time. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Mute us.